The Thrustmaster T150 is probably the most requested equipment to be reviewed in this channel, and it has been like this for years. It's quite a popular wheel, one of the choices in the current entry level, and the price tends to be right, so no wonder it's a request. And what we have here today is the Pro flavor of the T150. This particular unit was provided by Thrustmaster and Overtake.gg for this review, and also for an upcoming comparison video between the T150 and the G923 that you'll see at Overtake.gg. So keep that in mind for a review. While doing this video, I also broke my monitor. It's not the one that you see there, and I did it for the love of this hobby. So help me out, leave a like, and consider subscribing. The Pro version of the T150 changes from the regular one by offering in the package the T3PA pedals with the Conical Brake Mod instead of the regular 2 pedals. It should be better because it says Pro in the box. Pro things are always better. At the first glance, the T150 looks like a copy of the T300 RS. The wheel looks largely the same, much due to the shell being very similar, and the wheel itself looking like a straight out copy of the T300 RS, with the same button placement, the same 8 buttons plus 2 in the base, plus D-pads and shifters, but differing in many critical aspects necessary to make this package more affordable. Namely, the regular Thrustmaster pulley system is replaced by a hybrid pulley and gear system, and not featuring the interchangeable wheel system present in the bigger brothers, but still capable of 1080 degrees of rotation in this PS4 version and 900 with the TMX. There are always sacrifices needed to be made once wheels are targeted for lower budgets, which is the case of this Pro version, which you should find it hovering between 190 to 240 pounds or around 200 to 280 euros depending on country and time of year. Those sacrifices are also related to the wheel's construction. It's mainly a very strange plastic construction in the wheel rim, having some rubber grips at the side. This wheel sadly can only be used with a table clamp. There is no stock option for hard mounting it, which is weird as the pedals have that option. As for compatibility, which is also important, this wheel is compatible with the PC, the PlayStation 3, 4 and 5, so you'll have quite a flexible wheelbase that covers a lot of titles. The back of the base has an RG connection for the pedals and a PS2 connection for a TH8 shifter that you need to buy separately. Critically, the main draw of the T150 Pro package is the package itself, the wheel with the pedals, and in this case the T3PA pedals that comes with the Conical Brake Mod. The pedals construction is basically a plastic base with some metal faces, however, its use makes this wheel punch way above its weight. So, how's the experience with it? Well, I can tell you, it's not a direct drive wheel. Now, seriously, considering that this is a somewhat inexpensive sim racing bundle in the great scheme of sim racing things, it has a lot of great things going for it. First, the not so good things. The rim's construction and materials used feel tacky, and it's not really that good in the hands. It doesn't feel right, it just feels like the rubber is trying to stick to your hands, and the top and bottom of the steering wheel feels very weird. The force feedback lacks some finesse that is present in the G29 and 923, and in terms of wheels rotation, the gearing is a bit on the tougher side. Driving with the wheel, it still provided all the necessary information for driving. I tried it in a few titles, namely GT Sport in the PlayStation 4 and AC and ACC in the PC. The spacing of the buttons is pretty decent and the clicks are satisfying. It feels largely the same as the T300 RS. GT Sport and PlayStation 4 implementation of this wheel is pretty seamless. The force feedback, while abrupt across all of the titles that I've tried, provided all the necessary info to drive confidently, which is fantastic, and it did so effortlessly too, making me having a great time driving with it. From my experience, I think that the wheel's rotation is slow for some use cases like drifting. It can be used with it, but don't expect the necessary speed, and the lack of torque would also require some extra feeding into the steering. That lack of speed also feeds into a slow correction in case of going past the limits of the grip, especially at the rear of the car, which can be important in circuit racing. Now, the real deal here is that I've approached this product as a bundle. The bundle is exactly why I had such a great time with it. The T150 itself, frankly, and this is my opinion, I feel it's a bit lacking. At this moment, it's really deserving an update or a refresh right about now, like the Logitech G series has been having over the course of the last 3,000 years or so. However, with the bundled T3PA pedals, I think this pack punches way above its weight and price point. In reality, these pedals could be stated as the star of the bundle, and the bundle itself should be named T3PA pedals that come with the T150 wheel. The 4-seat bag, gives you some confidence at all, but I think the pedals play the massive part of that confidence building. The pedals are decently weighted for a pedal set of this type. It can be used in the floor without the Conical Brake Mod. Without the mod, it is an okay pedal set in my opinion. I didn't have any problems with it breaking in GT Sport, for example. Of course, some habit will be required. With the Conical Brake Mod though, the value of this bundle increases a lot. Of course, in that case, using it in the floor will be far more difficult, so I mounted it in my sim rig and went for a few laps in ACC. Now this is surprising for me. Within 10 minutes, I was breaking the 134 mark at the Hot Misano using race fuel. For comparison, this is well within 1 second of my race pace using a wheel that I don't have much practice with, while using a pedal set that doesn't have a load cell, which makes me think that this pedal set and bundle is criminally underrated. Honestly, the pedal set pretty much sells the Pro bundle by itself. If it were for just the T150 standard pack, I believe any Logitech G wheel would be a much better choice. Wheels only, so wheels to wheels, the Logitech seems to be a better piece of hardware, but with these pedals, it's a much difficult decision, but depending on the price, it can make for a decent purchase for a starting pack. The question now will be, should you buy this for the price you're gonna see? It really depends, and it's going to really depend on your objectives for the future in sim racing, and it's going to really depend, of course, at the price you get it. If you get the lower price of 200 to 250 euro or pounds or something like that, it's actually a pretty good deal, especially you have to consider the pedals. For a 2021 market, the T150 standard, I think it's not worthwhile because of the pedals that come with it. It's the same pedals that come with the T300 RS, the base version, and they're just not fit for whatever is available in the market. The T150 Pro is such a better purchase, and it's not that much more expensive. I think it's around 50 euros or so. If you're saying to yourself, I just have this amount of money and I just want to buy something that works, and I'm not going to do any upgrades in the future, I'm just going to stay with this, I think in that case the T150 Pro is probably the best deal around there, even more than the G923. The G923 has an excellent wheel, a better wheel than the T150 in my opinion, but the pedals, they are not as good. The pedals with the Conical Brake Mod, they make a lot of difference. But of course the T150 base has a lot of shortcomings, namely the construction, it's not that good and only has just a few buttons here and there, while the G923 and 29 have a lot of more options in the steering wheel. In my opinion, great package, but the wheel needs a refresh. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you found this informative. If you have a T150 Pro, a T150, or even a Logitech G wheel, and you have experience with both of these packages, tell us in the comments below, because that can help a lot of people get one wheel or the other. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you'll see new videos and streams as they come out. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.